They didn't rush into chaos, they waited, then pulled the trigger. Sources say Nicole Kidman made the decision to file today, even though the divorce was already mapped out, signed, and notarized. Keith's signature, August 29, 2025, Nicole's, September 6, 2025. The marital dissolution agreement was complete, bundled with a parenting plan, a child support worksheet, even a parenting seminar order, in other words. The ending was written before the headline dropped, so why now? The timing feels intentional, almost surgical, like they chose the exact moment the story would go public. After locking every door behind it, no messy leaks, no last-minute bargaining, just a clean, final step after all the terms were quietly set in stone. And that's what makes this so striking. When a split is this organized, the filing becomes less of a shock and more of a reveal. They didn't break down, they executed. But the paperwork only hints at the true shape of this breakup. And the calendar inside it says even more about what comes next. The calendar tells the story. The parenting plan splits time with surgical precision: 306 days with Nicole, 59 with Keith. Nicole is named the primary residential parent. She's the home base, the address on the forms, the center of gravity, yet power isn't one-sided. The agreement keeps both at the table for the big calls, school choices, health decisions, the milestones that actually shape a future. It's asymmetrical on nights, balanced on authority. A design meant to minimize disruption while signaling unity where it counts. And if the calendar builds stability, the next set of terms explains how they'll keep it that way quietly and without a public fight. Follow the money, it's cleaner than anyone expected. Both sides waived spousal support and child support, sidestepping the monthly check drama altogether, but there's a quiet twist. The agreement says Keith has prepaid child support obligations, which means whatever needed covering was handled upfront, off the books of future conflict. Add this, each keeps their own assets, no division battle, no valuation trench war. Put those pieces together and you see the outline of a prenup: clear boundaries, no courtroom spectacle, and zero incentive to drag this out. It's a financial exit designed for silence, obligations settled, estates untouched, headlines diffused. And if the money is this tidy, wait until you see what the paperwork reveals about how they plan the rollout. Follow the dates, they're the breadcrumbs. Keith's notarized signature lands on August 29, 2025. Nicole's follows on September 6, 2025. Two notaries, two quiet appointments, and a package already locked: a marital dissolution agreement, the parenting plan, a child support worksheet, and even a parenting seminar order. That's not improvisation, that's choreography. The ink was dry before the news ever hit, which means today's filing wasn't the decision, it was the reveal. Every stamp, every date, signals control over the narrative, as if they set the clock weeks in advance and just waited for it to strike. But timestamps only tell you when. The optics tell you why, and that's where this gets even more deliberate. A parenting seminar order says more than any statement, it telegraphs intent. Co-parenting classes aren't gossip bait, they're a blueprint for a low-drama split that keeps the kids at the center. It's image and infrastructure working together. The order signals they're walking into this as a team, learning the same playbook, speaking the same language in front of two teenagers who didn't ask for headlines. It's a quiet flex, too. When celebrities sign up for the unglamorous stuff, seminars, schedules, shared rules, they're telling the world there won't be fireworks, there will be follow-through. The optics are deliberate, responsible, coordinated, and calm. No mudslinging, no leaks, just a controlled narrative that says family first. And by anchoring the story in parenting, they undercut speculation before it spirals. But keeping the image clean is one thing, containing the whispers is another. And that's where the next chapter starts. Here's where the whispers get loud. Reports claim the grind finally caught up with the months of filming, touring, and flights in opposite directions. Fans online are speculating that the time apart wasn't a phase. It became the pattern. Industry chatter adds the same refrain. It's been said that stacked schedules turned into separate lives, with check-ins instead of connection. Unverified, yes, but the calendar doesn't lie. And distance has a way of writing its own ending. No accusations surfaced, no explosive scandal exposed. Just a slow drift shaped by commitments, deadlines, and silence between time zones. And when the clock runs the relationship, the headlines usually follow. The question now isn't what happened behind closed doors, it's how they'll handle what comes next. In public, the next moves will be quick. With a fully signed agreement, the court process often speeds up, turning today's filing into a finalized decree sooner than most expect. Watch for the joint statement. Short, careful, heavy on privacy, gratitude, and protecting the kids. It sets the tone and shuts down the messiest questions before they start. Projects won't stop. But the optics shift, upcoming films, press lines, and tour dates will be read like tea leaves. Ringless photos, seating charts, who skips which carpet. Every appearance becomes a signal, intentional or not. For the kids 17 and 14, the plan looks like stability first, one primary home, clear routines, and a calendar that avoids chaos. Expect coordinated holidays and milestone moments with both parents present. Not as a couple, as a front, behind the scenes, expect guardrails, a media strategy, possibly a request to keep filings discreet, maybe even mutual non-disparagement language. Not confirmed, but common when the goal is to keep the temperature low and the headlines mild. The public narrative resets now, from unbreakable to strategic co-parents. From fairy tale to framework, if the rollout stays this controlled, the story becomes less about the breakup and more about how to end without blood on the floor. And that's the twist. This may move fast, but the aftershocks will linger in the branding, the interviews, and the silences. The paperwork ends the marriage. The next months decide the legacy. They're protecting their kids, their privacy, and their legacy. The order isn't silence, it's a shield. After nearly 2 decades, this isn't about airing grievances. It's about insulating teenagers from tabloid chaos, locking finances so rumors can't run wild, and choosing a timeline that tells the story on their terms. The clean paperwork preserves the careers, the brands, and maybe most importantly, the dignity of what once was. It keeps the love story intact as a chapter, not a scandal. Quiet buys grace. It lets them show up at graduations without a media circus, release projects without side-eye, and move through public life without feeding the machine. It also leaves blanks the public will try to fill, but that's the trade. Protect the family. Accept the speculation and never let the headlines dictate the home. So here's the real question for you. Does a calm, surgical exit earn respect, or does it make you wonder what we'll never know? Drop your take in the comments. And if you want more deep dives like this, hit subscribe.